Hey everyone! So my previous video had decently positive feedback, so I figured I'd do another one. This time about the next event, Go West. But first, before I talk about the event itself, let me talk about the gacha instead. So Shuazang, or Senzo, depending on which version you use, I think personally that Senzo is better fit because they use Goku instead of Son Wukong. Anyway, so what can I say about Senzo? Well, Senzo has a first skill. She No, first, she's not limited. So obviously, if you don't roll for her now, you won't have to wait until she's rate up again to have a chance of getting her. But it's very difficult to get her outside of a rate up. So if you want her, this is a good time to roll because she doesn't show up on rate ups a lot. Uh, so what's Senzo do that is interesting? Well, first, you have to understand her single target NP makes her stand out between SSR casters already. They haven't even given us a single target welfare caster yet. Second, what's good to notice is that she has a skill that charges 80% NP when max and increased NP damage for a turn. And you ask, why is 80% important? Well, because with that much you can just throw in waivers or more later Merling's buffs and easily get an NP any turn you want out of her, including the very first turn. She's a walking time bomb, ready to spawn the moment you say a word. And not only that, but her NP gain is good enough, she doesn't depend on the skill to use her NP. If you manually charge her NP, which doesn't take long, use it and use 2 arts cards for a Brave Chain, you have over 20% NP, which means you can just charge her NP again and use it 2 turns in a row, which is very powerful. So that's her first skill. Her second skill is a taunt with a defense buff. Honestly, this skill is useful in certain situations. Overall, it's not fantastic, but its use is good if you're using her more as a support or if you want to buy a turn where you don't want to take much damage. But it's not her most defining skill. Third skill, however, is great. It's not only NP gain boost for the entire team on a short cooldown, it's also a boost for star drops and gives a turn of debuff immunity on top of it, which itself can heavily impact a fight. This skill is what makes Sanzo a hybrid between a support and a damage dealer, and honestly she can function as both at the same time. This buff is very handy for us and quick servants, and I feel the reason people don't use her much as a supportish character is because most people use buster teams. I've done it several times where I slap a 20-30 on Sanzo and her instant charge NP is useful to kill something with 50k health like a berserker or an assassin. That I feel is her best quality, and you don't really have to invest anything but a lot on having her. She can carry any CE and still be a monster regardless of role. So that's Sanzo. I wanted to talk to you about another character on this gacha, and it's Li Xuan. So Li Xuan doesn't show up very often in paid gachas or in gachas at all. And brief story, I rolled for him in this event and got him because that's when I didn't back then I didn't have a single golden lancer, and he was very handy to me. He's not the best lancer, and you might even argue he's not even better than Fate Stay Night Cool, but he does damage, and I needed help killing archer bosses. So while he's not the best, and I'm not gonna go on his skills one by one because they're fairly straightforward, and he has a single target NP. That's it. That's all you need to know about him. He's very handy. I think he's good. If honestly, if you want him, this is a good time to get him because he's stored limited and it's very hard to roll in outside of rate ups, and he doesn't have that many rate ups at all. So if you want him, this is our time to roll. That's basically all I wanted to say. So the event itself is pretty self-explanatory, but there's a twist. This time we can farm for currency to enter a special stage which has very good drops of the other currency. This is a good and bad thing, and I'll go over those in a bit, but basically what this means is that you use the shop CEs to farm for tickets and orbs, and then you use the gacha CEs if you have them, and the special characters that increase drops on the special stage for more currency drops. This is the most efficient way to farm this event rather than directly farm the shop currency itself. This is bad because obviously it's more battles to do, so it takes a little bit more time and patience than other events. This is good, however, because it decreases your dependency on drop Cs from the gacha. It also gives you more bond points and XP if you're interested in that. Also, one of the special stages has 4 demons, which makes it one of the best places to get demon hearts in the game. More fights also mean more drops after all. And remember, the event is divided in 2 parts. Don't leave all your grinding to be done last minute or you won't be able to do it. And don't fuse your event Cs until you're done farming. The only CE you might be able to fuse and not be screwed is the Nightingale CE, because that CE is percentage based and you only need 100%. It gives 20% base to drops and 20% base chance to drop another orb, and when it's fused together it gives a 50% chance. So you only need to do 2 max limit breaking once and you have 100%. It makes no sense to have over 100% of that. So remember, farm the currency to enter the special stages. On the special stages gets the currency, the shop currency, and that's how you farm this event. Anyway, thank you for coming. I hope I was informative. I hope I helped you. If I helped you, please help me. And I'll see you guys around. If you want more videos like this, just comment below. Ask if you want to ask questions to me, just ask them and I will answer them. So thank you and peace out.